we created workspace and we have imported all the jar files and we have created the source file and created the package under the source folder. Under this source folder, how to create, see, how do you create particular class which is going to be defined under the default package and how the things are going to be defined under this. So defined customized packages. So how can you create the customized package? How can you create the default package? We have seen. Under that, we have seen how to create the classes and how to create the variables and methods which is available inside the class. And if we want to access this particular class, right, how you are just going to access these things? You'll be able to access that by just creating the object. This is the object creation, or either you can call it as an instance or instance of this class or object of this class. If you want to access all these variables and methods which are available in this particular class, those can be accessed by using this object only which you have created. Okay, so till that point it is clear, right? Now you know how to create a package, how to create a class, how to create a method, how to create an object, right? So these things and all, that is fine. Now after this, just going to process. We'll just start with the next document. So see, there is a description which is available in this document. Like if required, I can also share this document to you people just to understand the things theoretically. Okay, and how to create an object and variables related to variables. See, there are when it comes to the variables, right? So there are going to be two types of there are uh, some set of data types that are available in Java. What are the data types means? So it's going to be like this is the data types like uh, integer, double, char, characters, boolean, short, float. These are all the primitive data types. We are just going to call it as a primitive data type. There are some set of another data types also is available in Java, which is called array data types. Array, array list, string, hash map, etc. These things and all, it's going to be, they are going to say that these things and all, it's going to come under the derived data types. Okay, so regarding that, data types in Java means like what kind of values we store in the variables will be declared by the data type. Without data type, we cannot define any variable. So this is fine, right? It's not like Python. So without data type, you cannot define any variable here. So that already we have seen about that. See, now we have just seen only the integer data types only. If you want to define any string data types, how can you define that string data types? You can just define the string data types like this, string, and the data, like this is the data type, string is a data type, and here the variable is called, so it's a str variable is equal to, you are going to assign some set of variable here. I am learning Java. This is a variable. Okay. Now, once this is done, right? See, now this is the how you are just going to define this string variable means you are just going to define like this string. This is a variable name equal to, you are just going to assign some set of string values to this particular variable here. So you are just getting it right. So now, if you are just going to see that, you understand like integer only, it's a string data type you are just going to define. Now, actually, we are not getting any error here. So I'm just going to do something here. I'm just going to have this. So I'm just going to, if I'm just going to do like this, see what is going to happen. So this is not allowing, so no problem. If we are just going to have string st or ing string correct only, right? So it is a data type where we are just going to assign some set of values here. Now this is a string variable. If I want to print the string variable here inside this method, so if I'm just going to say that system.out.println, so here I'm just going to say that system.out.println. If I'm just trying to print str where 1 second. Okay. See, now I'm just calling this str method. I'm trying to print this str value in this method 1. So anyway, we have just called this method 1 in this object, right? Using this object, right? Now I'm just going to run this file here. How we are just going to run? We are just able to run this file using this particular Java application. See, now in this print, right, when I'm just calling this method 1 here, it is printing C value as well as str. C value is 90, str variable, that is string variable. So it is going to specify as I am learning Java. So I am learning Java where you have just defined, so you have just defined this as a variable in this particular class here. So like this, you can just define any Boolean values also. So if you want to define any Boolean value, what you're just going to do, so Boolean, BL or something you are just going to say, and you are just going to assign some value called true or false. So now this true value is going to be assigned to B1. Okay. So if, for example, here I'm just going to add some condition. If I want to add some condition in Java, how can I add some conditions? So see, we are just going for the conditional statements called if statements. So if I want to add some conditions here, how can I add if is a keyword? So condition is nothing but B1. So that B1 is equal to true. So if B1 is equal to true, this is the condition here. And inside this condition, I'm just going to have the brackets here. So now if I'm just going to have the bracket, see, now this B1 is like, what is the error here? So create local variable B1. Actually, it is BL. I just typed it as a B1. That is the reason it's showing some error. Now see, it error went off. See, if I want to add such kind of conditional statements like if statements in Java, how you are just going to have means, so if is a keyword. Inside the bracket, you are just going to do some like validations. Like this is the conditional statement. This is the conditional statement where you are just going to check either BL, this BL is equal to true. Then you are asking the system to print this value. If BL is equal to false, it will not just execute this particular print statement. So for example, now I'm just going to say that I'm just going to add some condition. If BL equal to false, I'm going to check like this. So when I try to execute this code, right, see what is going to happen. See, now only that 90 is getting displayed. So I am learning Java is not getting displayed. Why? Why it is not getting displayed? This because of this B1 is equal to true, but we are checking that false. False means it will not go inside this conditional statement and it will not execute these lines of code. You are getting my point? Are you getting my point?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm just going to check. I'm just going to change the condition to true here. So if I'm just going to change the condition to true, when I try to run this, now see, it is going to execute that line of code. I'm just going to get this. I am learning Python. I'm just getting this value because this condition becomes true. B1 is equal to true means yes, that is true. So in case, see, if I'm just going to, I can have like this, and I can also have multiple conditions also here. So I can use AND symbol and OR symbol. So AND symbol, if I'm just going to use, for example, I'm just going to say that A is greater than B. A is greater than B. See here, and this is showing error because I want to close this condition here itself, and I just want to open the condition here after this. So here, and see here it is showing the error. So why? Because so and means I want to use the and symbol like this. So even it is not showing the, so it is showing the error here. What is the error? It is showing as syntax error on token and invalid only synchronized. So invalid, it's going to be synchronized. That means, see, for example, the whole condition is, I'm just going to make it as a single condition here. See, previously it was showing error. Why? Because means, so here two conditions are there. That means two conditions are not grouped into one. That is the reason it is showing error. So instead of using and symbol, if I'm just going to have and here, so see, this is going to throw an error. That means only if you want to combine two conditions in the if statement, you want to use this and symbol like this. Okay, then only, see, it is going to check this condition first and this condition next. So when you are just trying to run this file, when you are just going to run this code, now see, actually B1 is equal to true. This condition becomes true. But A is greater than B, right? This condition is not true. This condition is become false because A value 25. 25 is not greater than 45. That means it is going to return false. That means here first condition is true, but second condition is false. That means here, if you are using and, right, and means both the conditions should be true. Then only this total condition is going to become true and it's going to execute this. Now this one is true and this one is false, means it is not going to execute. Now I'm just going to make this as A is less than B. So if I'm just going to make it as A is less than B, means when I try to execute this code, see, now both the conditions becomes true and it is going to, see, now also it is not getting A is less than B. Actually, this condition is true only. Now also it is not getting executing this particular line. What is the reason behind this? What is the reason? Now see, I have just added one more ampersand symbol. Now also it is not executing. So what is the reason here? So if this condition becomes true, A is less than, oh, okay. Actually, this condition also it's not becoming true. Why? Because means, see, here A value 25 I have given, but when it comes to insert the method, right, I just made A value as a 45. Now A is not less than, not greater than. So that is the reason still this condition is becoming fail. It is not going inside this particular code and executing the code. You are getting this point.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now see, if I'm just going to add A is either greater than or equal to B, if I'm just going to add this condition, now both the conditions are going to become true here. If I'm just going to run this, so now it is going to get executed and it is going to give the output as I'm learning Python. You are just getting it right. 45 plus 45. B also 45. A also here I made it as a 45. So either less than or equal to, either A is less than or equal to B, then you make this condition as true. That is the one. Okay.
Yes, sir. Here we mention in method 1, A is equal to 45. Okay, so this 45 value for A is valid for only this method 1, or we can use
Yes,
if
only for method 1. If, for example, see in the method 2, in method 2, I'm just going to remove this A condition.
so what value
Here,
A is
if I'm just
to
going to add the same scenario here in the method 2. Now see what is going to be done. See here also I am learning Python is getting displayed. Here also I am learning Python. That means, see, either I have told either A is less than condition 2 means that is fine, or equal to condition becomes. Now A value is less than, this is taking 25 value only. See, now I am just going to make, pardon?
here it is not taking the value of A as a 45.
A is greater than or equal to B. If I'm just going to put like this in the method 2, A is greater than or equal to B. So now when I'm going to run this, now see it is not going to consider that second method. Still it's getting executed. So why it is getting executed means A value, what is the A value here? See, I am trying to print what is the A value here. 1 second. So I'll make confirming this A value. What is the A value here? It's getting displayed. When I'm just running this, maybe in the bottom again, I'm just changing any values that we want to see. When it comes to method 2, see A value still it's showing as 45. So why it is showing as 45 means, see, when it has been assigned to a particular object, then actually here you have asked me the question, right? So the method, like already, like this is a global variable. Global variable means there are two types of variables are there. One is, sorry, three types of variables. One is global variable, and another one is a class variable, and another one is a method variable. See, this variable is global variable. So here, this 25 is going to be replaced with 45. So that is the reason after method 1 only we are calling this method 2. For example, if I am not going to call the method 1 here, directly I am just calling the method 2. So if I am just going to run this, see what it's going to happen. See, now I am not getting the output here, even in the method 2 also. You are able to understand. See, once object has been created for this particular variables, right? So this variable is going to be treated as the variables which are available inside the class, right? Those variables are global variable for this particular class and methods. That means here you are just going to define some variable, and inside any method you can just change that value of this global variable here. See, for example, now I'm just going to define one set of variable inside this method. So for example, I'm going to say that int j equal to some 56 or something. See, now int j equal to 56. Actually, why? What is the error here? Remove j and all assign is. Why? What is the reason? Int k. I'm just going to put k, right? Actually, j is somewhere like it is referring to. I'm not sure. So now see, int k equal to 56. Now, if I try to print the value of k in some other method, right? So I'm just going to print the value of k here in the second method. See, it is throwing the error here. It's clearly saying that we no need to execute also. So it's clearly saying that, see, k cannot be resolved to a variable. That means what? See, it is a local variable. K, which has been defined inside this method, is going to be the local variable for this method. We are just going to call as local variable for this method. So this local variable can be accessed only within this particular method only. You cannot access this. See, even in the class also, you cannot just print. So even in the object also, you cannot directly access that. So even you have created the object, right? So even in the object also, you will not be able to get that K value. If you are going to put dot, right? So you will not get K value. See, only A, B, C, A, B, L, C, STR value. Only these things are getting here. So if you are just going to type K, right, it is not going to get displayed. You are getting it, right?
Yes, and if we remove this,
Pardon?
this line number 52.
1 second. This is going to be the global variable. We are just going to call it as a global variable for this class. Variable declaration, global variable. Global, sorry, 1 second. Yes, yes, please. Now you can tell me.
Yeah, on line number 52, if we remove the what is that comment, then I think it will take the value of K. It will be in main method. Line number 52.
Yes,
If we remove this comment,
then also it will not take.
no.
See, why it is not taking means this. Why it is not taking means this K is a local variable only which is available only inside this method, because you have defined this variable inside the method. So if you define any variable inside the method, right, that can be accessed only within the method only. You cannot even access even through the object also you cannot access. You want to comment it, that's it. It will not work.
And if we give in method one,
In method one,
can you please show me the method one?
okay.
If I will write C is equal to K plus A, method one, C is equal to K plus A, will it take the value of K? Here?
1 second. See, A plus B plus, I'm just going to
plus
also.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
That will take inside. See, and this is also is going to get taken. And here I'm just trying to print K inside this method. That will also work out for me. Inside this method, I can do any operations. So if I'm just going to run this, see what is the result I'm just going to get. Actually, we are having some error in the line number exception. Here, see, I in the method 2 I have used, right? This one is not going to work out. So I'm just going to comment this one. So when I try to run this, see, now it's getting displayed like this. That means, so you are clear now. See, now C equal to plus B plus K. So previously, what is that? A plus B. A is 45. B is 45. 45 plus 45, 90. It is showing as 90. Now, with this 90, it is added 56. 56 means, so 90 plus 56, 146. So that is, it is printing the 146 here. Now, after that, I am trying to print the value here. K value 56 is getting printed. That is, inside this method, if I'm just going to define any variables, that variables can be available within this particular method. You can do any operations within this particular method. So this variable cannot be accessed outside this method, even in the class or even in the other method or even in the main method. So nowhere you can access this particular local variable which is defined inside the method. But if you are going to define any variable inside the class, so that variable can be accessed either within this class or within the methods which has been defined inside here, or within any methods. You can call that variable A and B. Okay. And also you will be able to access that A, B, C, all the values can be accessed by using this object. Using that object, you will be able to access. That is, it is a global variable. Once you have defined here, you can access anywhere in this particular program. That is the reason we are just going to call it as it's a class global variable. A and B are the global, A and B and C are the global variables. K and all is the local variable for this particular method. This variable cannot be accessed anywhere. But here say A and B and all we have just accessed here. But we cannot access the K in other method also. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the way it is going to work out here. So now you understood, right? Now see, I'm just going to do some set of see, now we have seen how to define integer variables, how to define a string variables, how to define a Boolean variable. See, if I want to define any variable called float FLT is equal to 55.46 or something. You are just going to have the value like this. Now, actually, when I'm just defining the value, right, float, it is not taking this value because y means type mismatch, cannot convert from double to float. Actually, this value, right? So here in Java, right? So it is not going to consider. So the value float values can be considered only like 6.0 or something. Also, it's not going to consider. It's going to take it like a integer value only. But here the float values has been, they have replaced with double. So double is the keyword. So it's a data type. So here DBL float value. If you are just going to have the values like this, for example, you are just going to say that so 34.5 or something here. So here the double value is going to be taken into the considerations like this.
What about the float
Pardon?
FLT? What about the float FLT that you typed before?
See, float, it is not like instead of float only, you can use this double value. See, now you no need to use float value. You can directly use this double value in Java instead of float, which is going to be considered as a float only. Okay, all the floating values has been defined as a double values. So double value means you can give any number of values. So there is no restrictions at all. Okay, you are just getting it right. You can use only integer, string, Boolean, double. Instead of wherever you get the float value. Float value means what? This is the float value. Instead of this float value, you are just going to use the double value. See, you can give any number of bigger numbers also. So it is not going to throw any error here. You're getting it right?
Yes.
So the next one is, so we have seen how to define, and also I just want to tell you one thing. There is another data type is called char. Char is nothing but character. Char, for example, n is equal to, you can just store any single character. Single character means you can have it using, so for example, if you want to store A or something into this. So these single characters can be stored by using single quotation. So char is a variable which is going to store only one character. If you are just going to store no more number of characters here, right? See, that is going to throw an error here. So only one character. So where this character variable is going to be used means, for example, whenever you are just having some set of conditional statements or something, right? There, when you are checking for particular character related stuff which is available in that scenarios, you are just going to use this character. Okay, so integer is one of the data type, character is one of the data types, string is one of the data types. String means multiple text values is going to be there, means that is called string. Character means only one character is going to be the character string. Next one is Boolean, true or false, double. So you can give any number of floating values. So these are all the data types which can be utilized in the Java. So if you want to merge these things, for example, here float double value is there. If I want to add with integer value, can I just add this in DBL float, DBL FLT? If I'm just going to add this DBL FLT here, see what is going to happen. See, we are just getting the error. That means what is the error? Type mismatch, cannot convert from double to integer. That means this double values cannot be converted into integer value. For that, what you can do here means either you can just convert it into a integer value like this. It is also, it's not working here. That means you cannot concatenate. This process is called concatenation. We are just going to call it as a concatenation. That means you are just going to combine a value, b value, and k value, and also you are trying to combine this double value. But double value cannot be combined with the integer value. That means, like, see, for example, if you are just going to say that here a plus DBL value. For example, we are just going to say that C equals or something. So nothing can be possible. You cannot add, but only one thing you can do here. So you can just convert this into double. This integer to double here. You're just going to do here. That conversion also, it's not possible. So that means you can just use this double. You cannot use this double value with this integer value. You cannot use this in double value with this integer value. Okay. So for example, here I'm having the string value. See, integer to integer concatenations, it is applicable. So if I want to concatenate this integer value with the string value, if I try to concatenate like this, so str value here, that is also, it's not possible. So if you just put the mouse over, right, type mismatch, cannot convert from string to integer. The string cannot be converted into an integer value. So you are getting this point. Such type of cross conversions, cross additions or concatenations are not possible in Java. Not only in Java, it is not possible in Python also. Okay. So, but if I try to concatenate the two strings, for example, we'll just try to concatenate these two things. So if I'm just going to add, so I'm just going to add like a string m equal to, so str var plus n. So if I'm concatenating character with string, so that is allowing here. So if I try to print, so if I try to print this value, if I try to print here the value of m, see what is the result you are just going to get. See, you are just getting the value. I am learning Python, I am learning Java, and in addition to that, one Java A is getting added. That means string and character combination can be concatenated. The concatenation can be done between the string and character. Here, integer to integer concatenations is possible. If I try to add integer to Boolean, so BL is there, right? If I try to add this to BL something, See, that is also not possible. Integer to string or integer to boolean, integer to double. So those things and all cannot be possible here. So if I'm just going to use float FLT is equal to some value like 34 or something. I'm just going to put it like this. 34.3 like that. I'm just going to put, right. So here that is not allowed. So here cannot convert from double to float. It's a double value actually. Here float also is one type of a, so something bigger numbers. Bigger numbers are going to be considered as a float here. Okay, but using dot, if you are just going to have this kind of values, right, which cannot be converted into a float value. So if you are just going to have this, see in the float, right, you cannot provide more number of values also. So only till it has its restrictions here. So variable, how many number of values that needs to be stored, that has the restrictions here. So that means here string to integer concatenations can be applicable, integer to integer concatenation can be applicable, and double to double, float to float. Or you see, now I can just use this float. Float can be added with the integer value. So will not get any error. So even that also it is not going to allow. Cannot convert from float to integer. Even that also it's not allowed. That means only integer to integer concatenations are going to be allowed here. Okay. So integer to string cannot be possible. Integer to float cannot be possible. Integer to double or integer to character, nothing is going to be possible. Integer to integer concatenations. So just not only defining the variables. So some set of conversions also, what type of conversions it is possible, what type of conversions is not possible, that's what we have seen. And also what are the types of variables, say the global variable or local variable, some set of variables and all, we have just seen about those things. You are able to understand these things, right? So, okay, fine. Now, see, we are just going to see what are the operators that are available. So till this point, it's clear, right? It's clear to everyone. I'm just going to share the code in the chart. So everyone can just take this code. So everyone is till now, what are the things that we have discussed? It is clear, right? Next one, see, I'm just going to the next topic. I want the confirmation from you people. See, at least if you are not getting confident, right, kindly take my code, whatever the code I just shared in the chart, right? You just paste it in your local system and try to execute that code in your system. Okay. I don't hear any voice. Like, I don't know, either.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Fine, not a problem. At least one voice. Okay.
I was hoping, that's it.
Okay. Maybe you're talking in the mute, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about Sujata and
Yes, sir. Good.
okay.
Yeah,
See, now I'm just moving on to the next topic called what are the operators that are available in Java. See, normally in the operators means, what are the operators? See, we have seen these operators in Python, right? I think we have seen, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, it is going to be very much similar only. So in Java, operators in the sense, why we are going for the operators. So if you want to do some kind of comparisons or manipulations in between the variables or the values, so then we are just going for this kind of operators here. So here also it's going to be very much similar. What are the operators that are available means? So here, like normally, right? we are just going to call the ABC or like it's a variables, and A and B means it's going to be an operand, like yeah, and is there, right? And equal to and plus these things and all, we are just going to call it as a operators. Okay. So here also it's going to be very much similar in Java. We will be having arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators. Here relational operators in the sense it is going to be used for comparison operators. So incremental or decremental operators you are just going to have, and assignment operators. So we are just going to have this kind of operators. That means when it comes to arithmetic operators, right, you are just going to have plus, minus, multiplication, division, and a module. These things and all, it's going to come under this arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators means which is used for doing some arithmetic and mathematical operations. You are just going to use this particular things. Relational operator in the sense we are just going to have this comparison operators. Comparison operators means so it is going to be double equal to, less than or greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or not equal to. This kind of comparison operators where we are just going to use this comparison operators. We are just going to use this comparison operators in the conditional statements, like if condition statements. So there and all, we are just going to use the conditional related stuff here. Logical operators in the sense, so it's and or not, like this. We are just going to use some set of logical operators. So these logical operators are used to combine any set of conditions. Okay, so for that we are just going to use the logical operators here. So the next one is incremental or decremental operator. You are just going to use incremental means what? So we have seen there, right? A equal to A plus B, plus plus, minus minus, those things and all, it's going to be called as plus plus is nothing but the incremental operator. Minus minus is going to be the decremental operator. So assignment operator means equal to. So for example, you are just going to say A equal to 10. So 10 value you are just going to assign to A variable. So such kind of assignment and all which you are just going to have, right? That comes under this assignment operators. You are getting it, right? So here first we'll take with the arithmetic operators. So normally what are the arithmetic operators? How you can just perform this arithmetic operators means these arithmetic operators can be performed on the like any variables. You can perform this arithmetic, you can use this arithmetic operators inside any particular variable. For example, you will just take here itself, like I'm just going to take this.
So,
Yes,
excuse
please.
me. You did not share the whole code. The main method, you did not share
Pardon?
you did not share the complete code in chat.
Is
The
it I have
main
shared?
method is
See,
incomplete.
it is.
Yeah,
I'm able to see the entire code here.
but the public voice main, this I can just see my first Java file and object name is equal to, and after that.
Okay, 1 second. I'm just going to copy the entire thing. I'm just going to paste it here. Okay, it is. I think something is missing. Something is missing
the
here, right?
later part, the main method is missing. Main method, some part of main method.
Okay, okay, no problem. I'm just going to share it right now. So till where it was my first Java file. Where is my first Java file? Object obj. So here, so only main method is missing here, right? Main method just it started, so it is not completely pasted.
Only till line number 55 we got.
I'm going to give that. Can you please check it now?
Yes.
Can everyone copy and paste first? Like you do this, copy and paste it in your local environment, then you will just proceed, because this is the code which you are just going to refer and do the activities every day. Okay.
I did not get the first one because I joined late.
Okay, no problem. See, I'm just going to copy that one also. This is the first one.
Yeah.
Did you got it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, anyway, this is the one. Now I'm just going to the next file here. See, I'm not going to disturb the existing file. Okay, maybe like tomorrow if you are just going to ask, right? So we just to see that. So now I'm just going to take this main method. So I'm just going to create one main method inside this particular class here. So I'm just going to create an object for my second class. This is the second Java file. This is another file. Okay. So here, what I'm just going to do. So we are just going to say that we are just so arithmetic operators. We are just going to see about the arithmetic operators. Beautiful. Okay. So arithmetic means what? For example, here, what are the arithmetic operators? As we have seen, we are just going to have plus, minus, and we are just going to have so module. So like that, you are just going to have. See, for example, here I'm just going to say that a equal to some 10, 100, and 100 value. I'm just going to assign. If I want to declare any variable a means I want to use the data type variable a, and in the similar way b equal to some 200. I'm just going to have. Now, if I'm just going to try to print the value of a and b value, it is going to print a value, b value here. Now, if I'm just going to say that, like if I'm just going to perform some set of operations here, so maybe we can just do it inside this. So you can directly access the value of a here. A minus b or something. So you cannot access that. See, you cannot access this a value, b value and all. You cannot directly access that inside this main method and all. So for that, what you are just going to do, so we want to just use this object here. So object name. So here object is going to be obj name, right? We'll just use that same name except you can give any name here, obj instead of obj name dot a and obj dot b. So if you are just going to perform a minus b or a plus b, I'm just going to have like this arithmetic operators. So you can use a minus b, a plus b. Okay, I'll just use first initially plus, then minus, then I'm just going to use slash here. So I'm just going to use module, and I'm just going to use star. So like this, you are just going to use all the operators, like arithmetic operators. You are just going to use when I'm trying to run this file in Java. This is the second file. Where I'm just getting any error here? No, right? There is no error in this file. Absolutely, it is working. So it is printing a value, b value, 100, 200. It is trying to add a value and b value. So you are just going to have this 300, 200 plus 100, 300. So if you are just going to have minus means, so 200, it's going to be 100 minus 200 means it's minus 100. So a divided by b is going to be shown as zero value because 100 divided by 200, right? It's going to be 0 point something. So that point, whatever the values that is, it is not going to consider here. So A module B, you are just going to have, right, that it's going to be printed as 100 here. So and A into B. So 100 into 200. So it's nothing but the 20,000 or something is going to get printed here. So like this, you can just use this. So even here itself, you can just use this. Int C equal to, you can just add A plus B. So you can just try to print the value of C in the coming sessions. So you can also have this C equal to some A minus B or something. So like this. See here, actually, you cannot, once this has been assigned with some set of values inside this class, right? You cannot overwrite that. If you want to do such kind of things, right? Where you can do means you can just do it either inside the methods. You want to create some method and inside that methods only you are just going to access these variables and do the manipulations here. So
Can we do this in main method? Can we declare or initiate the variable in main method?
here, right?
Yeah, here
Yes,
can we?
you can.
A is equal to some
Int
20, right?
B equal to A plus B. See here, you cannot access the variables which is available directly, but you can define the variable here. So if I want to access the variable of that particular class, right, I want to use this object, then only I'll be able to access those things. A value and B value can be added and stored in the one of the variable here. So this variable, it belongs to the main method. You're getting these variables. If I want to access, right, I can access only through this object only. So without object, you cannot directly access that. That's what you're able to understand that.
Yes. And we cannot change the value of A inside the main method like last
You
time.
cannot change. Huh? Yes, we can change. I can also change. See, how can I change that means? So I can change like this. So obj name dot A value is equal to, if I'm just going to make it as a, instead of 100, right, I can just make it as a 10. So here, after this, if I try to print the value of D here, see what is the result I'm just going to get here. The value of D. So I don't want to have this object. So directly I can print the value of D here because it's a local variable, right? So when I try to run this code, see the value of D, A plus B means A value it's a 10, B value is going to be 200, 210 is getting printed. That is here, sorry, here 210. If I add A plus B, here also it is getting printed as 210. So in the starting, it is printing as 210. And when I try to print the obj name dot A, right, here it's printing as 10 value. A value it's printing as 10. Did you see this? That means this value has been overwritten in this particular, can be updated inside this main method also. That A value, B value, C value can be updated inside the main method. You can overwrite. Is your doubt got clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. So using this, these are all the things you can do this arithmetic operators here. So next we are just going to see the relational operators.